Hello guys and welcome to another one. This one is going to be called Grand Summoner versus Arisen Morrigan, and this one is going to be early game Grand Summoner, so level 225 to 230. But I'll be focusing on pre 230 and explaining how you can throw in the 230 move to make yourself just a little bit more effective damage wise. So as usual, I'll go through the passives, aka the abilities, and explain them briefly. So, Paired Essence 4. When beginning a battle, your first and second equipped summon spells will automatically be cast. So that means you will automatically enter the battle with 2 summons on the board already, ready to serve and ready to protect. And the protect part is probably the more important part, so you'll want these 2 summons to have a bit of HP or have some type of use. So I versus Arisen Morrigan, I kinda really like, especially at this level. Alright, I'll show you guys when it's time. I'll just explain these in the meantime. Ascended summons, as it says, when you ascend, your summons also get affected by the levels. Elysian Balance 2. You are in tune with Elysian Art, dealing additional holy and dark damage. Could come in and should come to be interesting in the later game. I will explain that in another video. Elysian Guidelight. Your summons follow you from floor to floor. That one is more dungeon. Grand Summoner, your summons are much stronger. I'm going to skip over that because I have no idea what that means other than what it says, I guess. Battalion 3. When attacked in combat, your summoned allies have a chance to protect you, and that one is going to be really important, especially versus this young lady who hits like a truck. So yeah, let us get into it. So this is the gear I'm wearing. My helmet is tier 8. It is one, I'm pretty much wearing stuff that either increase the chance of my summons protecting me, increase the effectiveness of Blood Pact, which is the level 230 move. So if you don't have that, you don't need to wear gear that is increasing that. You can just wear additional gear that will make the summons protect you. I think those are the most important. And you have gear that increases the strength of the summons as well. So it is up to you. So I'm not going to go through everything. As for adornments, if you are below 230 and you won't be using Blood Pact as much and you can maintain your summons, you can attack every now and then, and you can have in jewels like Assassin's Jewels and Heretics Jewels, especially versus Arisen Morrigan, which would bring her defenses down and I'll have her cast Dispel too. Like it pretty much in a way compels her to cast the spell to maybe, let's say generously, half the time that she has a status on her, because she hates when people give her stuff she didn't ask for. She doesn't like unsolicited advice, and she does not like unsolicited statuses on her. So the Very Scary Skeleton is one of the ones I will be using. So you need an Omega Rift Lock for obvious reasons, like that is Summoner 101. I'm not going to explain that, guys. Like, I'll maybe make a Summoner Explain video, but this one is just for persons who are already using the class and they want to know how to use it to kill Arisen Morrigan. This is not a Summoner guide. This is just a makeshift Summoner versus Arisen Morrigan guide. How you can just get a bit of damage on her, so after a few turns, like 3 or 4 or 5 turns, you will be able to kill her and, well, do your 50% damage on her, and you'll be able to trade her. So I'm using the recovery and harm amity, which the recovery part is the important part here, and that one makes it so that we are getting to keep our temporary buffs up 50% more often, and we will be trying to proc a lot of temporary buffs as we're in there, because you just want to give your summons as much strength as possible, as well as when you use blood pact. If you're using blood pact, you want those temporary buffs up too. So my staff here is for the damage 1, the damage 1 buff, and that is what I call it Berserk 1, but I think it's actually just damage 1. And this, I don't know if dexterity really works for Grand Summoner, but I can't see why it wouldn't. Just to give me just a little bit more dodge chance in case my pets don't step in, because as I said, I have really low HP. So I will go and show you the summons that I'm going to use and the spells in general. So my buff spells down here, I'm using the Very Scary Skeleton and the Chimera. If you find yourself dying too quickly, if you use this setup, you can switch in the Kelpie with the Chimera, and that is a good duo to start with. The Very Scary Skeleton is actually easily killed, so if you are fearing that you might die, do not use it first, because you'll probably cast it in there anyway, and we're running sequencer, so it can be dual casted and you can summon 2 of them at once, and then you can quick cast some of the multicast spells, and that is why we're using the sequencer specialization. It's really strong. We have life pack in there to sacrifice some of our HP sometimes when the summons are losing HP, and this works well when you're alternating them with blood pact while maintaining your HP. And we have DC in there for just a little bit more damage ever so often. So, and we have Worm Song for the constant temp buffs, and we will head in there. So I'm going to go ahead and summon Kelpie, because she has a bit of HP too, and they're gonna be my 2 tanks. Unfortunately, the Very Scary Skeleton already died, but he put on the buffs that we want him to put on, the debuffs that we want him to put on, and those are the temporary downs on her. So not only will it help the summons to hit a bit higher, but it will also have her doing a few dispel tools, and she is not doing any now for some strange reason, but she will be, because she usually does. And see, we just summoned both of those at once, and now we're going to start to buff up a bit, because I just want to make sure that we have a few on there. I might summon another Kelpie or another Chimera depending on what. And you see, she's doing this spell now, and she just did this spell again. So pretty nice. And I just try to put on all of the buffs. Oops, I had that one on already, because sometimes I don't keep track of what exactly is hitting, and I just want everything to do as much damage as it can. So I'm not going to be discriminating when I'm putting on my buffs. I'm just going to put on buffs, and I'm going to maintain a high HP. I'm going to use a Berserk Mushroom, and I'm going to cast DC, and we're gonna see. But as you can see, it is a bit of a struggle for the Very Scary Skeletons to stay alive, but you just need to keep summoning them, and that's what I like about them. They'll come by the tools sometimes, so that's not bad at all. And when I get low HP, I'll throw a drain in ever so often, and yeah, I'll throw a blood pact in ever so often too, but that is if you are 230 and above, and then wow. So that happens sometimes. So that's why I said, like, especially if you don't have blood pact, I would recommend using gear that is allowing you to have the summons come in, step in, and block for you. So we're going to try that again because I just did a really wonderful one right before this video. So that's how I actually know that this works, but that was actually very unlucky. I don't know. I haven't done that many, so I don't know how common that is. Yeah, this is the one I just did, and I came out of that one when I realized that it was working. And that was 2 million damage in like 4 minutes. So I'm going to look for one, and we have found another one. So let us begin again. Guys, oh my god, why is she doing this to me? Okay, let us try this again. No, it's OBM. I can't believe that. Like, that was crazy. I am very salty. I'm actually going to summon a third, or what is this, a second Kelpie, a third tanky mob, so that we have a few on there that hopefully will help us. And I'll summon another one, and then that will be the team. I'm just surprised. That one surprised me, honestly. Because the first one that I did, nothing, like, she was not hitting me at all. I guess sometimes she'll just hit you. And I really want to keep her busy with the dispels. So you can see that she's doing a bit of dispels. And just remember that you must manage your HP. So just keep an eye on it. And yeah, and I'll throw in this one, and then I just keep those on for the temp buffs. So when one of the Kelpies dies, I will summon another Chimera. And I think I will channel this one in case one of them dies. And as I said, so I don't really worry about if my HP is high or low. I just make sure that it's enough that I'm not dead, because she's going to one-shot me regardless. So it doesn't matter if I keep it high. I'm gonna try a blood pack to see how much damage we do. Okay. And I'm going to summon another Chimera. Nice. And I'm sure I explained it earlier, but the reason for a sequencer is to do stuff like that, to quick cast or to dual cast the summons, because it makes it a lot easier, and it makes it a lot easier to stay alive when you can summon multiple ones at once. So I'm going to sacrifice those two and hope I don't die, but you can see that we have hit over 1 million, almost 2 million already, and we are barely, well, I actually don't know how oh shit, I think okay, I didn't, okay, lols. Yeah, it's so little HP that you really have to watch it, like, you really have to watch it, but if you just keep track of it, you'll notice that it works out really well. And you can throw in a drain here or a drain there. especially if you have in the jewels, like the assassin's jewels and the heretics jewels, you must keep your very scary skeletons up. Like, must. Like, you don't even understand the hard work that it is doing right there. It must be alive. And you could even put in Arisen or just Tears of Mammon to get her attack down, because those would be really effective so she doesn't kill the summons too quickly. Awesomeness. So I'll try a blood pact with the double magic up to see how much I do. Not bad. And now I have to focus on summoning the chimeras on all back. I cannot do a blood pact there because that is just too risky, and I will do a life pact. Let's see. Let's see if I have enough life. Wow, that was good. That was not bad at all. And yeah, so this is pretty much what you would be doing. As I said, you should keep up the temp buffs too, and you just keep doing it. Like, and you can alternate if you are level 30, 230 I mean. You can use blood pact. I believe light pact is lower. It shouldn't be, but if it's not, just ignore that part. I forgot to double check what level it was, but I'm pretty sure it's not above 230. I think it was even before tier 10 is why I put it in, is why I was so sure. Oh. And it seems like even sequencer helps with the pact. Awesomeness. And I would take 2 very scary skeletons. I said I would take 2 very scary skeletons. And as you can see, guys, we're up to 5 mil damage. And you can really go pretty deep in if you're lucky, but sometimes you won't be that lucky. So, because sometimes she will hit you. But it's just about being able to actually do it. Like, it is possible, as you can see. So, if it takes a few tries to get down, you just have to understand that that's how games are. So don't get frustrated if you die a few times. And I use Panacea a lot because I farm like T8 dungeons in party mode, which gives them back a lot. But if you don't have those, you can just use the potions you can afford to use, and you should be fine. And I just alternate between the summons, and you can look at the damage that the summons do, and you can decide which ones you want to use between Kelpie and the Chimera, which would be the only 2 very strong tanky ones available until you are a higher level. But I like both of them, and I don't know, I just like them both. So it's up to you. You can choose one of them, or you can look at the damage that they do individually and you can decide if you want that. But I like having multiple types of summons. And as you can see, I wasn't trying to be the most efficient or anything. I was just trying to make sure that I was able to do it. So you see that you can do it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching as usual. A special thanks to my Patreons. I love you guys so much. And take care of yourself, everyone.